Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Balsetta.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Passion for the Pastime here on a Wednesday. As promised, as I told you guys on Monday, no Giants game on Monday, but we did have one hell of a game last night that we'll get into and talk about the game tonight in Colorado with the Giants taking on the Rockies. Man, the Giants are. If last night wasn't an indicator of what this team I mean, my goodness, they just fight to every single final out, use every pitch. I mean, this team, their identity is being formed, right? And it's not one that is you know, that they lack offense or anything like that, because obviously they do. But I would spin that in that they are very an opportunistic offense where they score just enough, and it's all because of their pitching. It's all because of their bullpen. So we'll definitely get into all of that. As you can see, the title of this podcast is Giants ground out another win. Is this brand of baseball sustainable? That's the key word here, because when everything was happening, you know, in the Farhan era, we were talking about bullpen games. And I mean, the Giants at that point had one of the best bullpens in all of baseball as well, but they were being heavily tasked, right? So playing one-run games, and obviously right now, that is a hell of a gamble. That is a gamble that you go into every single day, but that keeps you in the games, right? It keeps you competitive. But is that a way, as long as they keep winning, it is fine, right? But the ball bounces in a different way, or a call goes a different way, the outcomes can drastically change. And I mean, that's the gamble that the Giants are dealing with right now. But as to this point, they have been successful. I mean, 19 come from behind victories this year, and they've won their sixth one-run game in a row, going hopefully not going for 7. Hopefully they blow out the Rockies tonight. We'll have to go and look into that matchup here in a little bit. We're going to talk about a little bit of the NBA Finals, a little bit with my guy Danny Dunn. We're going to talk some Giants baseball as well. We're not going to dive like too much into the finals. Really, I'm just going to pretty much go with my Walt's wager on a Wednesday. I'm gonna ask him about my prize picks. We'll get into all of that, but without further ado, we're gonna welcome in our guy Danny Dunn. And what's up, everybody, here in the YouTube chat? I see Pat H in here. I see Dom Peralta. Shout out Dom, actually, by the way. He gave me some stickers. Shout out Polymac Particles. I did see the pictures on that. I got some of the stickers on my what are those things called, Danny? Not a Yeti. It's like a hydro flask. There it is, a hydro flask. I'll put one on a hydro flask. What is it? Polymac Particles. What's the abbreviation? PMP. Yeah, PMP, right? PMP is why isn't that there open? I got to shoot Paulie a text. What's up, Dom?
Shoot Creative Tony a text.
I mean, that should be their open, right? I don't know if that's their open. I haven't kept up with Polymac Particles in quite some time, but I was watching in the early days. But what's up, Dom? Good to see you in here as well. Pat H in here as well. We're going to be seeing all the other guys trickling in here shortly if they're not already in here. Rockin' New Era, waiting for him. AJ Cruz, everybody. But what's up, Danny? Good to see you, bro.
Walt, how you doing? It's been forever.
I know it has been forever. How did the club sandwich settle with your stomach the other day, huh?
That was not great. I gotta say, I've had probably better club sandwiches at home, and especially for that price point of $17 up there in Daly City.
Yeah. What was it called? Westlake Cafe, right? That's the local diner, right down the street.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. The only other food I've gotten from there is the chicken tenders and fries. That was okay. I enjoyed those, but like you said, I think I'm going to try the breakfast at some point.
No, yeah, dude. Definitely. I mean, you're gonna be in there tomorrow. Try the breakfast. I might actually go in for a breakfast as well. I don't have as long of a day as you will, but yeah, I might check out the breakfast. If you get in early, maybe we'll go in together. Maybe we'll get a table, Danny.
I don't know about all that. I got to do this date in Giants history tomorrow
Oh,
too.
okay. Well, yeah. All right. You do have to work. We do have to work. But what's up, Danny Dunn, of KMBR and of the Giants pregame show with, as you just mentioned there. What's on the docket the next coming days, huh? What do you got coming up? What's Murph gonna tell us
Ooh,
about in this date in Giants history? What we got?
oof, oof. I know I sprinkled in a couple of Will Clarks for this recording.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
gotta
did,
keep Murph happy. Gotta keep him happy for sure.
but then we got to keep myself happy as well. I got a little Yaz, a little recent
Oh,
history of
Jesus,
this
Danny,
date.
what are you doing putting Yaz in this date?
Hey,
What?
a walk off from 2023. Anthony Garcia, our guy, he knew it right away. He's like, oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah, oh, dude, you don't want to get me started on Yaz. I've been calling for As soon as I saw Lamont Wade Jr. get off from the team, I'm like, oh, bro, Yaz's days are numbered, baby. Let's
Oh
go.
no, Yaz is gonna at least play out the year. Come on, Walt.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Hold on, Pat H is telling me to turn up my mic. I don't know if I can turn up my mic any more than it is. But I will. I'll turn myself up a little bit. I don't want to shout. I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums, especially Danny Dunn. Greg Silver in here talking about
Hello, Silver.
diners nightly. Yeah, thank you. That is a nice diner. It is definitely a nice diner. Like I said, or as you mentioned, the breakfast was actually pretty good. So I'll maybe try that out before we get some Giants baseball early tomorrow for the getaway day before they go to Los Angeles. That's a huge series, dude. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what's up, everybody? Good to see you all in here for sure. Pat H. Okay, Pat H. Am I sounding good? Danny is loud. Daddy is not loud. Danny. I think Pat H. is just messing with us now. Pat H. How's the foot, bro? How's the foot doing? I know you're out of the cast now. Just gotta get a foot update from Pat H. But Danny, really quickly, man. I mean, last night, before we dive into anything else, last night the Giants score 4 runs in the 9th inning, bro. I mean, it is the Rockies, it is Colorado, it is Coors Field. We all know those factors to it. But nonetheless, scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th, where you really had nothing going offensively. You had a Willie Adames homer early in the game. That was about it. You know what I mean? But scoring the 4 runs, has to feel good for the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly against the Rockies, it shouldn't have gotten to that point to begin with. But yeah, I am happy to see that the bats came alive finally at Coors Field. This is probably going to be the series that lifts Adames out of his little funk there. Some
That's what we're
people
hoping for. Yeah.
some people in the bullpen were joking about his sac fly in the first inning. They're like, "Oh, this is going to get him going." Obviously, you're like, yeah, right, whatever. And then the next at bat takes one deep to center. Was that the fastest that you've ever seen Wilmer Flores run the bases?
Dude, okay, so that's gonna be. I mean, it has to be. I mean, the dribbler from hell. That it only went 15 feet, and Wilmer Flores got on his horse, bro. I don't think I've ever seen him run that fast. I was a little concerned too because I mean, obviously Wilmer Flores has been the force of the offense, right? To this point because of the inefficiencies of I wouldn't say Matt Chapman to some point. I mean, he was struggling during a stretch of the season, but he started to come around. Obviously, Willie Adames hasn't been able to do anything. Tyler Fitzgerald is he kind of looks lost at the plate as we kind of feared, right? So he was dealing with the injuries and all that kind of stuff.
With the Chapman injury, I think Wilmer Flores could take a month off and still be the leader in home runs and RBIs on this squad.
Thank you, thank you, Dan. No, 100%. I mean, but going back to Wilmer, when he was moving down that first base line, dude, I was like,
you were worried.
I wanted him to run faster, but I didn't want him to pull anything. I was just like, oh, dude, don't get hurt. We need you out there, Wilmer. We can't lose you, bro.
Guys are dropping like flies out there, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, that'll take us to our next topic in a little bit. Patrick Bailey, if everyone doesn't know, I'm sure everyone that knows that's in the know, that's in the YouTube chat are aware. Patrick Bailey landed on the IL with that neck. I think it's neck soreness, neck stiffness. What was he been doing, huh? Anyways, but so we're talking about the Giants offense and Matt Chapman, right? Matt Chapman is a guy that landed on the IL with his right wrist injury. Are you a little bit concerned with that? I mean, the Giants offense had kind of been anemic, Danny. And now, I mean, Matt Chapman was kind of, I mean, other than of course Wilmer Flores, other than Wilmer Flores, he was kind of the only bat that you feared in the Giants lineup, right?
Yeah, and he was just starting to get it going too. I think I heard on Dirty Work. Shout out Derek Papa in the chat now too. I heard on Dirty Work.
Shout out Party at Young Tones on July 4th, by the way.
Yeah, we're all invited.
Can't wait to bring that back.
Everyone's going.
Everyone's going. Yeah, the whole YouTube chat that's in here for Passion for the Pastime. We'll do a podcast live from Tony's patio. All right,
yeah.
We'll be out there
if Bonnie lets us in.
Oh no, it's already in the works, Danny. We're gonna be there.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I think like Chapman was just starting to get going too. He was hitting like 395 in his past 11 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was around the time last year too, where he was just a machine out there. It seemed like every time he stepped to the plate, it was a dong, you know. And yeah, replacing that with Casey Schmidt, I'm sorry, it's not gonna get the job done, especially in a lineup where they have been struggling to score runs the past couple of weeks up until recently, of course. But yeah, it's not a great sign.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a great sign. But I mean, if we know anything about this Giants team and we know how they win, it's not with the bats, right? I mean, obviously you're losing more with Matt Chapman than the bat and the glove. I mean, you're missing a huge part of the clubhouse, right? I mean, he's still there. He's still cheering on the top railing of the dugout and everything like that. So I mean, his presence is still felt, but to see him go out there, obviously, the bat did play a factor. But that isn't how the Giants have been winning games. It isn't how they're going to continue to win games. We all know that it comes down to the pitching, obviously the defense, but that's one thing that Casey Schmidt, I feel he does have, right? I mean, that was the one calling card for Casey Schmidt, was that he's really good defensively. Like there was a point in time where I think people were getting a little bit ahead of themselves, but they were calling him the next Brandon Crawford. I'm just like, oh,
John Lund.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out John Lund. Yeah, the next Brandon Crawford. I'm like, oh, I don't, John. I mean, I know you have the baseball cards, but
the autograph.
Reel it back in a little bit, bro. But he was hopeful. Right? But looking at this Giants team, I mean, and looking at Casey Schmidt, he's going to be there defensively. I don't think that there's going to be a hiccup, although the ground ball yesterday for the double play that Dom Smith picked and ended up finishing at first base when he dove forward and caught it. I did think that Casey Schmidt soared it into right field. And I started screaming at the top of my lungs. My God.
Yeah, that's big Dom Smith over there at first now.
Big Dom Smith, dude. Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Mount Dommore, right? Who we going on Mount Dommore? Going Big Dom, going Dom Smith, Dominic Toretto. Yeah, you gotta go Toretto. Yeah. What about Dom DiMaggio? The unknown DiMaggio brother. You know that guy?
You're selling your guy here in the chat short here, Dom Peralta.
Oh, Dom Peralta, of course. That's our Mount Dommore. Dom Peralta there on in the YouTube chat, 100%, man. But yeah, so looking at this Giants team, looking at Casey Schmidt, there was an interesting question that was asked with the Gregs, but it all started with the morning show. I'll give my credit where credit is due. With Murph and Marcus.
You don't have to give them credit.
Yeah, I don't have to give them that too much credit. They're already patting themselves on the back as it is. But looking at, the question that they asked this morning was who has the most pressure? So I'll ask that question to you. With all these injuries, and I'll now throw Patrick Bailey's injury in the mix, because I think that can't be understated. Obviously, he hasn't been doing a lot of stuff offensively that Giants fans would like for him to do. But I feel like there's going to be a point where we're like, Patrick Bailey would have backpicked that guy. Patrick Bailey would have saved the 90 feet on that guy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's going to be moments where we're going to miss Pat Bailey a little bit here. But with all the injuries coming in, who do you think has the biggest not the biggest question mark, but the biggest pressure, biggest amount of pressure on them going into this next couple of days.
Yeah, so I'll just start off by saying, yeah, I'm really, really concerned about the catcher spot. I just Kisner, and then I just looked up the other guy. What was his name, Walt? I'm sorry, I just looked it up right before.
Logan Porter. Logan Porter is who they
Logan
just called
Porter.
up. Yeah, from
Logan Porter.
Sacramento.
I saw he had a stint in the majors with the Royals a couple years ago, and then
He did, and it wasn't great. It wasn't. I think he hit below the Mendoza line.
yeah, and then I was like, all right, let me take a peek at his AAA stats for 2025. You know, I was like, all right, maybe he was tearing it up. No,
Nope. Yeah, it wasn't great. Was it?
237, 2 home runs or something. It was like, okay.
And like 160 at bats too. It's like I was looking at that too, Danny. I looked it up when the name came across, and I didn't text Rudy. I should have texted him to find out. Like, is he a defensive like wizard or something? Like, I don't know at this point, man. Like, I really don't. I just need somebody that's serviceable behind home plate.
Did Papa try having him on? Like, we need to talk to Zach. I don't know this guy.
Well, you know what? We had Zach Rudy on twice last week, and I think that was enough for the month.
My God.
Yeah, we had him on Monday, and then the news broke with Bryce Eldridge going to Sacramento, right? Getting called up, and then we had him on Wednesday, and then something else happened, and then I was like, "Oh, dude, we're definitely having Rudy on Friday." We didn't have him on Friday. I think we were gonna go three Rudy hits, 3 for 5. I thought we were gonna have Rudy last week.
You can get Bay Rudy in for 5 minutes apiece. Hey, if Kruko could be on 3 times a week, so can Bay Rudy, right?
Yeah, dude. Oh, 100%. I love me some Zach Rudy. He was on the podcast, by the way, friend of the pod. So,
nice.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, really, no confidence in the catcher position, and I don't think that either of those guys are defensive gurus or anything like that.
Although Kisner, you saw what he did yesterday. He did get that guy out at second base.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, I'm not going to lose my mind over one, but
I mean, hey, I'm just saying. If you could do it once,
all right,
do it again.
What was he, 1 for 11 or something since?
Yeah.
The bat's not like you said, luckily they're not really losing anything in the hitting department because Bailey wasn't lighting the world on fire there.
Right.
But go back to your original question about the pressure. I think that this puts the most pressure on, or I guess more pressure than has already been put on, Willie Adames.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Fitz was having a meh year so far. He had to deal with injuries. He came back. I don't think people are expecting the world of him. Dom Smith just got here, and Daniel Johnson just got here. They're not feeling anything. I don't know if they'll be here in a couple of weeks. Yaz might be feeling some pressure now that you put it out in the ether and you want him gone so badly.
100%, dude. I need him to feel every bit of that pressure.
Yeah, he'll get his average back up to like 245, and get just enough home runs to keep him around till the end of the season. Jung-Hoo Lee, he's playing all right. I don't think any added pressure is going to get on him. I did like seeing him in the leadoff spot,
right,
the last few games, and then Ramos is Ramos. He's been fine, but I think, like I said, I think Willie Adames is probably going to have the most pressure put back onto him as if he needed that going forward.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of candidates, right? I mean, Willie Adames is definitely the easy one, right? Is because you look to Willie Adames and what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to be this offensive, I wouldn't say juggernaut, but he was supposed to be a shot to the arm, right? For this offense that it lacked in every category possible, right? I mean, runners, scoring position, home runs, OPS, like all that. That was supposed to be somewhat solved with the Willie Adames, and it just hasn't happened to this point.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, you expect that, when a guy gets a contract that, he's going to take his foot off the gas a little bit. Yeah. But I was kind of just looking at his numbers and just kind of projected him to the end of the year if he is, obviously, if he stays healthy. And it'd be like his worst numbers since like his rookie year. It was like, I was like, I knew Oracle was a bad hitter's ballpark, but I didn't think it was that bad. My God.
Well, look, and I'm just saying, man. I mean, we saw that the 6 years, $182 million deal. You might be the last hitter that comes here willingly. You know what I mean? Like that, it is not looking good for the Giants at this point.
That might be the last $180 million deal the Giants even give out, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, shit, they did it with Jung Hoo Lee, and then they did it with Willie Adames. And Jung Hoo Lee, I think we're a little bit more optimistic with him just because his game is a little bit different than Willie Adames. I mean, Jung Hoo Lee spreads it to all fields, and Willie Adames really has that center, like to center right approach. Like, he doesn't really pull the ball too much to where I mean, Harold Reynolds was on MLB Network. He was saying that, for Willie Adames to be successful at Oracle Park, I don't know if it's that simple. He needs to start pulling the ball. I mean, I see a little bit of that, yes, because where his swing path is and where he hits a lot of the balls, it goes to die in triples alley, right? I mean, that's just the fact of the matter.
Balls out there.
Yeah. Thank you, Danny. But yeah, no, so it's gonna be really interesting. To answer the question that I asked you with the pressure, right?
Pressure.
I think if there was, under pressure, is that the same song? Under pressure, looking down the street. Is that the same song?
I think so.
All right, I don't know. Anyways, so going down to the question. I think the most pressure would be, and we're gonna have Eric Engel on at some point.
Oh no, hang on, let me get off.
You're gonna get out as soon as Eric jumps on. He's gonna join us at some point. He's coming on today. Yeah, we're gonna have a little 3-way here. It's a little surprise.
I didn't know your computer was capable of that.
I mean, we'll see in a little bit, but all right. So going back to the question, I would say if there wasn't already a large amount of pressure on the pitchers, I feel like it's now amplified because
now you gotta be perfect. Yeah.
Now you have to pitch perfect. I mean, going back to the question where I asked the chat, I said, is this brand of baseball sustainable? Right. Going back to Pat H, he said, yes, this brand of baseball is sustainable for Giants because they are pitching well on a nightly basis. And I agree. As long as the pitching holds up, then yes, this brand of baseball, of timely hitting, of good defense. But now it's kind of amplified a little bit because their margin for error was like, let me square it up. The margin of error was like about this big, and it's shrunk now, right? We got to give you the visual, and now it's shrunk. It's smaller because you don't have the Matt Chapman that could run into one, that could hit one out of the ballpark at any moment. He was one of those guys that was in the lineup that you can say, like, okay, he could. Was he doing it at a normal pace this year? No, but he still had the capability, right? He had the notoriety. He's the veteran in the lineup. He's a guy that, pitchers will circle as we need to pay attention to this guy, right? The Giants don't have a lot of guys that you do that with. I mean, will Elliot Ramos be that one day? Maybe. Is he that now? Not necessarily. I mean, he could get into one also, but I don't think he's a feared hitter like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? But so yeah, I think that the pressure goes on to the pitchers. I think it goes to the starters, and I think it goes to the bullpen because they have to. I mean, and I mean, they've already been doing it, right? But now it's just kind of amplified to a different degree because also, I mean, it might be a little uneasy for the pitchers, especially the young guys, to go out there and not knowing that their Gold Glove third baseman isn't behind them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Schmidt is no slouch with the glove, so
right.
Maybe it won't concern them that much, but it will concern them. Like, hey, I had to put up zeros here because otherwise, I give up a 3-run homer, game's over.
Right.
It almost is. Well, but luckily they showed up against the Rockies. But but yeah, there is going to be some added pressure on the pitchers. I think Webb and Robbie Ray will be fine. It's like you said, it's the younger guys where it's like, okay, well, there's a mix of, hey, we have to be on our best game. There's a mix of, hey, we haven't pitched this long into this. For some of them, they haven't pitched this long in the season, like Birdsong and Harrison and Roop. It's just, I don't know, man. It's I'm fascinated to see how the next week shakes out against the Dodgers because not really worried about the Rockies series right now. I think, especially after last night, it's like, all right, now that they saw that they could score on the Rockies, they're like, okay, we can take care of this team. But the Dodgers will be really fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, going into this series with the Rockies, I was just thinking about one thing is the words to start dirty work, right? I hear it every day at 2 o'clock.
The fun's over.
Yeah, the fun's over. All right, don't mess up. Whatever you do, just don't mess up. That's essentially how their mentality that they have to keep going into Colorado is that don't mess up. Don't get into bad habits or anything like swinging for the fences, because we know that Coors Field can do that to guys. Like they just want to go out there and hit it as far as they can because of the altitude, right? You just don't form bad habits, especially going into that Dodgers series, which speaking of the Dodgers, I believe the Dodgers were victorious again today, right? They beat
Oh, they beat the Pods.
I want to say they beat the Pods. They were winning 4-1 when I was in the bullpen prior to leaving. They were winning 4-1. I want to say that the score
5-2,
held up.
yeah.
Oh, 5-2. Yeah, so they won 5-2. So right now, as the standings sit, prior to this Giants game against the Rockies kicking off here in about 10 minutes. So I'll get your thoughts really quickly. But let's go to the West real quick. The Giants sitting one game behind the Dodgers prior to going to LA. The Dodgers have a off day tomorrow, and the Giants, if they win tonight and they win tomorrow, they can narrow that gap, right? So Giants currently at one game behind Padres, 2 games behind the Dodgers, 1 game behind the Giants now. Are you surprised to see the Giants kind of keeping pace with the elites of the National League West?
I am very surprised. If you would have said that they'd be right here, right now, at the beginning of the season, I would have said, "What are you taking, Al? I'll gladly take some with you." uh, no, and it's just throughout the season, all the hosts and stuff I've talked to and people I've talked to about the Giants, I keep saying the same thing, waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it almost happened a couple weeks ago, when they hit that skid.
Yeah.
But then the resilient SF kicked in, and they kind of righted the ship on that a little bit until and now the Chapman injury though throws a wrench into that a little bit.
Yep.
But it came at kind of the right time going up against the Rockies. But if he's going to be missing extended periods of time, I'm a little concerned. Have you broke down the trade deadline yet, or is that's for the future?
No, I haven't got into the trade deadline quite yet. I mean, there's a couple of names out there, but right now, I mean, it's just kind of hard to decipher, man, because as you know, Danny, like when you go to the standings, bro, I mean, everyone's in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because of the expanded playoffs,
Well,
teams aren't willing to get out of it per se. I mean, the only teams that are like really, really eliminated, and I was talking to Silver about it going into I was talking to Silver about it going into the Atlanta series.
Yeah.
Is that I want the Giants obviously to win these games, but I want them to kind of dig the Braves down further, right? I wanted
Sure.
I want the Braves to fall out of it because maybe they can turn into trade partners, right? I mean, look at what Matt Olson was doing. Obviously, maybe that's not in the cards because he did just get an extension. I believe it was last year, right? And he's signed until he's 38 years old. I think he still has like 6 years left on his contract. So maybe that's not in the cards or anything like that. But man, I mean, you look at some of the guys like Marcelo Osuna, like some of these guys that are on the later part of their careers. Hell, even give me a Sean Murphy. You know what I mean? Like one of these guys on the Braves. They're kind of one of those teams that right now, looking at the wild card standings, they're 9 games out, right? And they're a team that could turn into a very interesting trade partner down the line. Now, obviously, will they go full fire sale? I don't think so. I don't know if they're in that part of their franchise. Obviously, they won a World Series not too long ago. They have the piece of Ronald Acuna, so you got to build around that as long as you can. While he's still in his prime, right? So, but you're looking at just the wild card standings. I mean, you got the Rockies that are out of it. But I mean, do you want anyone from the Rockies? I don't know. Do you want the catcher?
Our guy Tyro Estrada.
Yeah, you want to bring Tyro Estrada back?
No.
But you can get the catcher Hunter Goodman, right? They're not going to give him up. But then you got the Marlins, right? You got the Marlins there. You got the Pirates there. You want to go get Brian Reynolds, make everything okay again in the world.
Andrew.
And then you got Atlanta. Atlanta is 9 games back, and then it gets into, well, these teams had aspirations of making the postseason, right? You got the Diamondbacks that are 4.5 back. They're not going to be sellers. I think that they're going to go down to the wire, and I think that they're a really good team, regardless of missing out on or not missing out, but losing Corbin Burns, right? You got the Washington Nationals, 7.5 games back. How much do they want to hold on to some of their pieces? I mean, they have a lot of young pieces there, obviously, so I don't know if they're going to go too heavy on getting rid of pieces. And then you got the Reds, you got the Brewers, and you got the Cardinals. I mean, essentially everyone else that's in the NL Central, they're bunched in there as well for the wild card spot. So, and that's just the National League, right? I mean, you go to the American League, there's a couple other teams, obviously the White Sox, the Athletics, the Orioles, but then everyone else is they're all jumbled together, bro. So I don't know how much the trade deadline. I don't know if there is like a piece that the Giants can go acquire to be a real difference maker at this point.
Yeah, it was funny when they were playing the A's a couple weeks ago. Krug was on with the afternoon show. He's like, "God, guys, I'd like to see Kurtz in the middle of this Giants lineup."
Yeah, dude. That's a great Krug, by the way, 100%. But yeah, man. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how things shake up. Obviously, we would like the Giants to get some offense. That's what is needed, and they have the surplus of pitching. Is that something that can be matriculated down the line? Maybe quite possibly. But we'll have to see what ends up happening there. We got the Giants and the Rockies tonight, by the way. First pitch in about 5 minutes. Danny, what do you think about Kyle Freeland, the lefty? Giants have not hit against lefties too well in 2025. How you feeling about this one? And how you feeling about your dong pick, by the way? Got the dong board behind me, by the way. You see that? You're right there. You're right at the bottom.
Yeah. I'll be on that list for a while with the longest dongless streak.
Oh yeah, that's right here. If everyone can't see it, Danny has not had a dong in 50 games and counting.
Yeah, I was really counting on Derek to keep his streak alive, but he finally popped his cherry the other day.
He did.
Yeah, I picked Tyler Fitzgerald tonight. He has a couple home runs against Freeland, but I don't know what it is. When the Giants go up against it, it's not even necessarily lefties. I feel like when they go up against guys whose ERAs are way ballooned up, that guy's almost guaranteed to get penciled in for 7 innings of
above 6, right?
Yeah, where it's like, yeah, this guy's going 7 innings. He's getting 8 strikeouts. No walks.
Right.
89 pitches. It's like I don't understand it, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna attack Freeland a little bit tonight. I'm not too worried about it. How about you?
I mean, I'm a little concerned. I'm just because yesterday, I mean, what you said is they have these guys like the dude that pitched yesterday. I forget his name. I'm trying to remember his name, but I'm trying to pull up the box score now. Palmquist, right?
Palmquist, that's right.
I mean, he had an ERA of like 8, and in Colorado, he had his home ERA was 12, and the Giants could only score 2 runs off of the guy. Like you know what I mean? I'm like, what are we doing? Kyle Freeland, obviously, I mean, he's the lefty factor. I don't know how much of that just plays into it. Just psychologically, like the team has to know that they struggle against lefties, right? So it's going to be interesting. But then we got Robbie Ray. You got Robbie Ray on the mound, and he's been I mean, he won National League Player of the Month. So I mean, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, the grunting. I still haven't gotten used to that. I'll hear it on the broadcast and be like, "What the hell's going on?"
You don't like the Robbie grunt?
Yeah. What did John call him? He called him like sweats or something. Sweaty or something. He's an interesting character, Robbie Ray. But So a lot of guys in the lineup tonight actually have all right numbers against Freeland. Ramos 3 for 9 with the dong. Flores 11 for 40 with a home run. Yaz, your guy, 9 for 21 with a home run. and Fitz with 2 home runs and 3 for 5 off of them.
Oh wow,
Not bad.
All right. So Yaz is gonna go, dude. It was so funny because in the
Sorry.
in
And just real quick, this
No, go
series
ahead.
alone is going to buy Yaz another month on the team.
The series alone, yeah, if he hits
series
like
alone, yeah.
three homers, 3 homers today. Really quickly, because we were talking about the dongs. Loader was third, and he went Yaz.
I was very surprised he didn't take no dong. I thought he was going to just sit on that the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, you can't take no dong. You can't take no dong early. In
I was talking to him. I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, "Yeah, Coors Field. You know what?" He's like, "You know what? No dong's not a good bet at Coors Field."
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But then Loader, yeah, he went Yaz third, and then me and Silver and Holer, we were just ripping him. We're just like, bro, you don't know ball. Like, what are you doing taking Yaz third to hit a home run? Willie Adames was on the board.
Yeah, but you heard the numbers. He does great against Freeland.
Well, hey, maybe Jack does know ball.
Hey,
I don't know.
Anytime you get to rip Jack, you know. It's
Oh, dude, 100%. You take advantage of that. Really quickly looking at Pat H. What did Pat H just say here? I was at the Rockies loss versus Freeland. Tyler Rogers gave it up at the end. Thank you for bringing that back into our minds, Pat H. My God, Jack don't know ball. Yeah, no, he doesn't. But someone else that does know ball, at least he tries to act like he does.
no.
He just joined us in the green room. He's look at that. He's cackling already. He hasn't even popped on the mic. But let's bring him in. Let's bring in the cackle, the King Cackle, Eric Engel of the Locked On Podcast Network, and he does the post cast. You'll catch him again tonight. Hopefully, it's going to be another victory for the Giants. What's up, Triple E, Mr. Cackle Boy? What's up?
You've
bro?
added quite a lot of background material there at your at home studio, my guy.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I mean it's a little cluttered. I see the good old dong board that you got going back there.
Yeah.
Who's in the lead this year?
It's Huey of all people.
God, that's just dumb luck,
dude. No, you
holder until Walt.
It requires a lot of luck.
Dude, you know what happened with Huey? You know what happened with Huey today? He came in and he was talking about the dongs. He was like, "All right, so I won a dong, right?" And I looked at him. He was in the third spot, and I looked at him. I was like, "What did you just ask me?" And then I looked at Marcus because Marcus was in there too. I was like, "Bro, we're freaking losing to this guy." He just asked me what he won he won one dong, and I was like, "Bro, that's not how it works. That's never how it worked."
He hasn't watched one Giants game all year. His brother's feeding him all the information.
No, I know. You know what I need to do? I need to change the name to Tommy. I need to change it to Tommy
Danny's
right now and just erase Huey.
Danny's 100% right on that one, man. Huey, I think if you let him, he would still probably try to pick Jock Peterson in the dong pool. You did not tell him that this guy has not been on the team for a couple of years now at this point.
Oh,
give me Lamont Wade.
Yeah. Can I get Michael Morse? Michael Morse available? Dude, yeah. Well, Eric Engel of the Lock On Podcast Network, and obviously we knew him when he wasn't famous, right, Danny? But Eric, what's up, bro? How you feeling about the Giants, dude?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I mean, they went through that little rough patch with the offense just completely underperforming every night, but it seems like they have broken through that glass ceiling of only being able to score 3 to 4 runs a game. Their offense is going to be kind of what we've been seeing through the most of the season, though. I mean, that's what you can expect from these guys. It's not about scoring 5 to 7 runs a game. It's about pitching, defense, and timely hitting. This is the same thing that you and I discuss every time that we get on this show. It's all about, especially the clutch hitting lately, though. With Matt Chapman going down, you really need someone to step up. And what I really liked yesterday was seeing Willie Adames go yard. And oh my God, as I am saying that right now, Willie Adames 2-run bomb.
Did you really?
Yep, right as I'm saying. Willie Adames 2-run bomb. Left center field, 452 feet. And I know he's out there in Colorado right now, but I mean, you got to like what you're seeing from Willie Adames. Matt Chapman going down with that injury. He's going to be on the 10-day IL and might miss a little bit more than those 10 days before he comes back. Who knows how those fingers are going to heal up. And if this guy can get going, Willie Adames, I mean, he'll slide right into that Matt Chapman role. And while it would be nice to have this offense actually be firing on all cylinders, like at the same time, just have everybody kind of piecing together some hits, I don't think the Giants need that to win. It would be nice, but I don't think that they need that to win.
That'd be too much, Eric.
Dude, what was the stat cast on that homer? That looked like he got both cheeks into that one.
Yeah, he cranked that one. 106 mile per hour exit velo, 452 feet.
No, damn, dude.
I mean, he got all of that one. A home run in 30 of 30 ballparks. Bat speed of 76.3 miles an hour. Has a little lightning bolt next to it in the StatCast, and an expected batting average of exactly 1,000. So Willie Adames absolutely crushed that one. And last night, he had a pretty good one too. And I did see, for what it's worth, a pretty interesting little segment on MLB Network. And they were talking about how playing at Oracle Park has really brought down Willie Adames' offensive numbers. Obviously, we all know that gap to gap, Oracle Park is absolutely massive. In Milwaukee,
the Harold Reynolds one?
Yes, that exact one. In Milwaukee, the corner outfields are pretty short porches. I mean, as far as the rest of major league stadiums go, a lot of the Willie Adames home runs there were wall scrapers that would have been home runs in like 5 of 30, 6 of 30 MLB parks. So he's not really hitting the ball that much poorer with the Giants. I mean, it is worse, but it's not as dramatic of a difference as the numbers might make it seem. He was just hitting in a baby ballpark out there in Milwaukee, and he's got that heavy fog and those deep corners or deep gaps to worry about at Oracle Park. So when he gets out of Oracle, he's a little bit better than when he's at home. So we'll see if he can continue this hot streak. If he really could, that would, dramatically help this Giants offense.
Eric, you want heavy fog, you should join me and Walt down in Daly City.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing where I'm at. I mean, I don't think I've seen the sun in like a week out here in the Sunset. It has been foggy. It has been windy. Man.
Yeah, I shorts weather yesterday, and then when I got to work, I was like, oh my God, I need to bundle up here. What's going on?
Dude, it was like morning dew. I mean that's I'm used to that.
Shout out the Grateful Dead. Morning dew.
Yeah, look at that. But yeah, no, it was morning dew going into work. I was like wet, bro. Really quickly going back out to the YouTube chat, Pat H, who had Adames? Lo and behold, it is Young Tone. Yeah, it was Young Tony that had Willie Adames, and
that
go
figure knowledge.
Dude, go figure. Jack just
right there with you, Eric.
Jack just screwing up the text thread already. Just going in there, but I was ripping him. I was ripping him for not taking Willie Adames. So I was telling Danny before he jumped on, Eric. Jack had the third pick, and he went Mike Yastrzemski. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Oh my God,
Mike Yastrzemski. I'm like, it's Mike Yastrzemski, bro. You got Willie Adames there. Like, why? I literally just said it to Danny. Like 2 minutes before you jumped on.
I was defending the Yaz pick. I was like, he has a couple dongs off. I mean, he's not terrible. He's 9 for 1 against him.
What is happening there at the leader, man? I do not understand.
I think you would actually get along with Loader. It's actually
I do want to point out one thing. Going into this series, I had a feeling that Willie Adames was going to turn it on. And yesterday, especially, I had a feeling after those 2 days off, which was important, I think. Bob Melvin gave him a rest on Sunday, and he had the scheduled day off on Monday, obviously, the entire team did. But Willie Adames even said in the postgame yesterday that he was kind of refreshed from having that day off, that he likes to play every day, but that he kind of needed that time to reset, and he looks like he's very much reset. I thought that was going to happen, and check it out. Maybe you guys can't read that, but we actually put a bet on a Willie Adames anytime home run, a live bet, and it hit, man. I mean, this was
wait, put that back up there. Was that your social security number on there too?
Exactly. the social
on
Walt's show.
Bets, speaking of bets, bro, I didn't do anything. What?
You had the finals bets, right?
I had the finals bets, and me, stupidly enough, I was watching the finals first quarter, and then Eric goes, "Oh man, Willie Adames just hit a 2-run shot." I was like, "Shit, I didn't have the game on." It's a Giants podcast, by the way. But I did. I'm gonna ask you guys a couple of final questions really quickly. This is my prize picks for the day for the finals.
Pick more. Less.
Let's see here. So I went SGA under, and I think it's hitting right now because he hasn't scored anything. First quarter. SGA under 33.5 points. You guys like that or dislike that?
I think that's probably pretty solid. Going to Indiana, I think that the Pacers have a solid chance of winning this one. Ultimately, though, I'm really hoping they don't, because at the beginning of this series, I put some money on OKC in 5. After they dropped game 1, I am not feeling super great about that. But we're still riding with it, man. We're still riding with it. But I do think that you're right. I don't know that Shea is going to hit that mark. I do think the Thunder still have a very good chance of winning this game, though.
And then I got Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton over 19.5. I know he has been shut down by Dort and Caruso, but I figure going to Indy, there's going to be a little bit of home crowd behind him. I feel like he gets 20 tonight.
Yeah, it depends on how he's feeling. Didn't he have an injury in the last game near the end?
I don't know. Did he? I wasn't watching. I didn't bet. Clearly, I didn't bet on Saturday or Sunday rather.
All right. Well, he's at 0 right now. So also
thanks, Danny. Thank you. So I'm on track to hit.
So you have the over?
Yeah, I had the over 19.5. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think
Nemhard.
20.
What's up?
I think he can get the 20.
I think he can get the 20. Nemhard, I got just make a 3. He's gonna make a 3, right?
Oh, yeah. Just wait till the fourth quarter, and then he'll make like 3 of them in a row on 3 consecutive possessions. And for those 3 possessions, he'll look like the best player on the court. He seems to do this every fourth quarter. I don't understand why.
And then Caruso, I got just make a 3. I think that's a safe pick also.
Yeah.
You know, with all those side ones that you do, like the make a 3, it sounds good when you say it, but it's like
sounds great.
But it's like wait a minute, what do they know that I don't know?
Yeah,
are these all straight bets, or is this one giant parlay that you got going?
No, it's a giant parlay. It's a giant parlay right now. Yeah, so we're having fun. And then Neesmith, he has to make 3 threes. I think he could do that also.
3 threes.
3 threes.
Yeah.
He
at
hit
home,
7.
yeah. Okay, at home, yeah.
At home, yeah, because the role players play better at home. Come on. I'm not completely incompetent.
So you didn't combine those with any Giants bets?
No, I didn't go any Giants bets because yesterday I bet on Kyle Harrison. Look at me, just a terrible Giants fan. Kyle Harrison to give up 6 hits, and he did not. I think he gave up 5 and then he got pulled. I was pissed.
You're really rooting for that Rockies offense there, aren't you, Walt?
Well, I was rooting for Kyle Harrison's inability to throw the changeup, and it was going to lead to a lot of fastballs. And then lo and behold, that's all he threw last night.
Yeah, the changeup actually did look decent last night. I think that was hit and miss. It wasn't good the whole night, but it had its moments for sure. And that's really the key for Harrison, man. He's just got to develop a good secondary pitch. That slurve that he keeps messing around with, I don't need him to throw that anymore. Got smacked out of the park again yesterday. I mean, I keep wanting Kyle Harrison to take that next step. I'm not completely sold on the guy, but if you're asking me which of the 3 Giants young starters do you like the most, Kyle Harrison's at the bottom of that list for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me to compile the rotation for next year, I don't think Kyle Harrison is in it. I would rather have Carson Whisenhunt. I would rather have Landon Roop. I would rather have not in that particular order, but I would rather have Whisenhunt. I would rather have Roop, and I would rather have Birdsong. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the exact reason why I think the Giants need to trade Kyle Harrison, and I think that they should do it now while he's got some value to him, and they should send him. They should try and get a bat back, obviously, either a first base or a right field. First base is okay right now. It feels like the shot of life from Dom Smith is maybe enough to keep the Giants afloat. Yeah, it might keep them afloat for another month at that position before we revisit this topic. But I do think that a guy that would be an interesting fit, he's obviously a guy that everyone's talked about, is Ryan O'Hearn. He's played some outfield in his career, and he's played some first base. So he's maybe a guy who could split reps between first base and right field. He's also having probably the best offensive year of his entire career. So it maybe could be a little bit of fool's gold at 31. But you look around out there and the rest of the options of what the Giants could go and get. If you are looking for a first base, maybe Rhys Hoskins. but does that really move the needle too much for you? And then you look into the outfield, maybe a right fielder that they could go get, or someone who's playing center that they can move over into right field. I'm thinking maybe like a Cedric Mullins or like a Taylor Ward, or maybe whoever the Red Sox decide to trade out of their outfield now that it's relatively crowded. They got 4 starters, they're probably going to unload one. I wouldn't hate to see them go after Duran. I think that he's gettable probably because he's had a subpar start to the season, but he has heated up in recent weeks. And I think that he's a plus defender as well. So you're not going to lose a whole lot on the defensive end. And I think Mike Yastrzemski, although he has been the hero for the Giants in their last 2 games, I think he's best suited as in the role that we saw him last night. He came in as a defensive replacement and he had a couple big moments late in the game. But you shouldn't rely on this guy because you know that his slumps are going to be big, and he's going to take like a month or 2 during the season where he only comes up with maybe 3 or 4 hits that entire month. And we just got those.
I was telling Walt that this series against the Rockies might single-handedly keep Yastrzemski on the roster for another month or 2.
And that's a good take. It very well could, because I mean, if Mike Yastrzemski has another couple RBI in the season or in this series, maybe hits a home run out at Coors Field, so he gives you just enough at the plate to think, maybe this guy's going to go on a heater again soon. He also, I think, has a decent on base percentage. I mean, he draws for what the batting average is. He does draw an okay amount of walks. He's got plus speed on the base paths. You could find worse third outfielders in Major League Baseball for sure. But I think if the Giants want to take that next step and contend, that they should absolutely contend now. They should trade Kyle Harrison. You should stop worrying entirely about building for the future. Stop straddling the line. I want to see them either trade guys that are good now for prospects to make sure that this team is going to be stacked in a year or 2, or go trade some prospects and get some guys that can help the team now. I'm kind of done with
you don't like the Mark Hannibal.
I mean, we saw how well the 2 timeline thing worked for the Warriors. Nobody should be trying to do that. You're either winning or you're rebuilding, one or the other. And the Giants have kind of straddled this line for a while now. And I wish that we had a little bit more consistency from what the Giants front office was doing with all these guys. So
look at this really quickly, just to break up the conversation.
Oh my God,
Dom Peralta checking in. Creative Tony just stopped by, saw
Nice.
we were on the screen and said hello. What's up, Tone?
Tone.
Dom, I need you to rub that bald cue ball head for some good luck for the Giants tonight. Hopefully they get this win against the Rockies.
100%. Oh, dude, miss Tone. But yeah, man, no, it's definitely gonna be interesting. So you're of the belief, you want to trade Kyle Harrison. So would you also lump Camilo Doval in that conversation as well? Would you trade him?
I don't think so. I mean, the temptation is there because
I'd trade everybody.
I understand why you would go down that train of thought, because he is having a pretty good season. You could get a lot back for him, and you have plenty of other arms in that bullpen that could slide into that closer spot. Randy Rodriguez has been my favorite reliever on this Giants team to watch, and he just looks so good.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this conversation, but there was a point where Randy Rodriguez, we were talking about 40-man spots, right? And there was this young kid, right? Randy Rodriguez. We were like, who the fuck is Randy? Why don't they want him off of the 40-man right now? What's the deal with Randy Rodriguez? And then lo and behold, I mean, look what he's doing now, because he had a lot of talent then, and I mean, look at what he's doing now.
Yeah, I remember you and I back in my KNBR days having discussions about Reggie Crawford, and again. I got to give you credit, man, because more than anybody I know, you are on top of these young pitchers. You're spot on with pretty much every pick that you throw out, or every take that you throw at me. A couple years ago, you told me of this young crop of pitchers, Keaton Wynn was going to be the first one to get his chance in the rotation. That's what happened. Then you told me that Landon Roop was actually the guy that you were hyped about going into last year, as opposed to all these other names that the Giants had floating around: Mason Black, Hayden Birdsong, Carson Wisenhunt, Kyle Harrison, etc. And Landon Roop probably had the best all-around season of that bunch. And Roop had a combination of starts and relief appearances. So he was being moved around a lot, asked to do a lot of different things, probably had the most consistent success of all of those guys. And then when we were talking about Reggie Crawford, who's still working his way back from injury. Seems like he's been working his way back from injury for about 3 years now. And Randy Rodriguez, you told me you were higher on Randy Rodriguez than Reggie Crawford. And so I do got to give you some credit. I mean, you called it from the jump, but he has been so dominant, man. Like, he has been the most effective pitcher for this entire Giants bullpen, in my opinion, this whole season. I mean, not just the ERA and the stats, but the situations he's being used in. He's coming in with at least 2 runners on, like half the time that he's coming into these games. And no matter what the situation is, if he needs a double play, if he needs a strikeout, he's going out and he's getting whatever the Giants need from him at that moment. And I think that that's a very underrated thing about his game. Not just that he's been dominant in the strikeout to walk ratio and the ERA and the whip, and all those things are nice, but being able to have a guy not just be a specialist, right? Like we've been so used to Giants relievers being specialists over the years, and they kind of have some specialists on the roster as well. Like, Kyle Harrison ain't getting a ground ball double play when he needs it. Robbie Ray Robbie Ray has induced more ground balls with that changeup now this year, but he's not really a ground ball specialist. And we know that Logan Webb, prior to this year, kind of struggled to get those strikeouts in specific moments. Now it seems like he's hunting those strikeouts. But I mean, we've kind of become used to certain Giants pitchers kind of staying in their lane. Randy Rodriguez is a guy who can do it all. Doesn't matter what the situation is. He can get you what you need.
All right, Eric, no more slurping Walt the rest of the podcast, right, buddy?
No, please do. Walt,
I love that. I think it was on Facebook the other day when you're like, Danny, I don't remember asking Eric's opinion.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, I forget what that was. I had to slide that in there, bro.
I think it was Mike's post about daily saves.
It was something Mike posted, because I remember Mike didn't respond at all.
No, Mike didn't respond at all. Yeah, no, I had to be the one to respond. Really quickly, I just had this random thought in my brain. I was watching Robbie Ray pitch and get out of that first inning. He had somebody on second base, but he got out of it. Does Robbie Ray look like Russell Brand a little bit?
Russell Brand,
a little like a cleaner version of Russell Brand. No,
I'll give it to you. I see you trying to be like Brian Murphy over here, and I'll give it to you.
Thank you. My good.
Speaking of Brian Murphy, we got it.
Wait. Has Murph said that before?
No, Murph is always trying to make comparisons between players that look like other dudes. I'm trying to remember who. Oh, he's earlier in the Warriors season. He was very on the Quentin Post looking like a giant Ethan Hawke bandwagon, and I can kind of see it. But I can see that about as much as what you're going with here. So today you're Brian Murphy.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a side by side and send it to you guys. The side it's not really like the front on. It's the side profile when he's looking to Kisner. When he's looking at the Kisner, that's a side profile of Russell Brand. But yeah, dude, this Giants team. I mean, they're really. They're gonna be exciting, dude. They're gonna be exciting down the stretch. Really quickly, and before we get out of here, because I'm gonna get on out and cook some dinner, much needed food.
No eggs in the guac. Here. No eggs in the guac, Walt.
No eggs in the guac. No eggs in the guac this time. But it's the question of the podcast, right? It's kind of what I started talking about with bringing in the show, and then we talked about it with Danny a little bit. Giants baseball, obviously torture is back. But is this brand of baseball sustainable, do you guys think?
Eric, you want to?
I absolutely think that it's sustainable, because the pitching and the defense aren't going anywhere. They have so many arms too, that if somebody falls off, say in the bullpen, they got plenty of reinforcements to come in and back them up. And same with the starting rotation. I mean, you had Verlander go down. We had a bump in the road with Jordan Hicks, and still, even now, the Giants starting ERA is very, very good. And if they could probably even handle having another injury or two and still be fine. They just can't have what happened last year at about this time of the season, or a little bit earlier, which was like every single player on this team went down with an injury except for Logan Webb. It was like Logan Webb and then 4 bullpen games and then Logan Webb again. And as long as that doesn't happen, I think they're going to be fine. I do think that they're going to, be able to be better than what we've seen offensively, at least over the last, the month of May was really dreadful to watch offensively. And I think they will be better than that throughout the rest of the season. Maybe they have another slump during the dog days of summer, but I think that ultimately, again, this team is built around pitching, defense, and just enough offense to get the job done. But the number one reason I think that they're going to be continuing to sustain what they're doing is really the bullpen, because the bullpen is going to keep you close in games. I mean, as long as starters don't explode, the bullpen is so unbelievably good. They might be the best bullpen in all of baseball, and they will keep you close in every single game. They're going to give the Giants opportunities to come back and win in these one-run situations, which we might see another one-run game in Colorado tonight with the way that things are going so far in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants continue to play the most one-run games in all of Major League Baseball, and if they have the most wins in those one-run games in all of Major League Baseball, and it's because of the bullpen.
Well, and wasn't that a formula in 2021 also? Weren't they just like unstoppable in one-run games?
It was one-run games and not necessarily kind of timely hitting, but it was more like timely home runs.
Yeah, timely
Giants. They were home run feast or famine. It was home run or strikeout that season, which was just one of the worst things to watch.
Dude,
are you reacting to Tyler Fitzgerald right now?
Speaking of worst things to watch, what the hell was that? My God.
Tyler Fitzgerald wearing his PF Flyers and not his spikes out there on the field today.
Dude, I gotta get a John Miller. That was the worst base running in the history of the game. What is that? What is he doing? My goodness. Anyways, Danny, you got any thoughts on that? You want any final thoughts for the road?
Sure. I am probably a little bit more worried than Eric is. Eric, I was telling him before you hopped on that I've been telling people this all year. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop with this team. And unfortunately, it seems like if it is going to drop, it'll be like past the deadline again. Where, as you were saying earlier, it's like, well, they have to ask or get off the pot when it comes to the trade market, and I think they're going to stay on the pot again. I have a little bit more faith in Buster Posey, I think, than I did, in Farhan making a decent splashy move and not getting, Mark Canha to come here and hit no home runs. But I think that, like your Robbie Rays, your Camilo Duvals, the guys that are going to actually get you pieces back. I don't think that they're going to pull the trigger on them this season, at least not during the season. Maybe in the off season, we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun summer, man. I mean, definitely. I mean, I thought that there was gonna be a stretch where they played the Braves, obviously, and then this stretch that we're currently on. I thought this was gonna be a really tough one because, I mean, yeah, they're playing the Rockies, but it's never easy in Colorado. Like you get Coors Field all the time. And we just know how it is. It's a house of horrors, regardless of how good your pitching is. So I just felt like that leading into the Dodger series, and then now everything kind of compiling on top of each other with Patrick Bailey not being there, and now and Matt Chapman also. Dude, I thought that this was going to be a really tough stretch, but it's nice to see, including the Padres, how it started last week, bro. I was like, oh, dude, here it comes. Here comes this stretch of games where they just end up back at 500. They're not going to be above anymore.
And if you remember last year, it was a series against the Braves in August that kind of did the Giants in as well during the end of that season. I mean, I don't think any series at the very beginning of June is going to determine your season outcome, but it did kind of start to line up like that. I saw the same thing you were seeing after they went down in that first game they won against the Padres in that series. So it was on June 4th, the third game of that series, when they went down 5-0. I was actually with another former KMBR alum. I was with our guy Malcolm Pinson, and we were watching the Giants game, and I just turned to Malcolm. I said, "This team sucks. This is where they fall off the cliff. This is where this team crashes and burns this season, and goes on just this ridiculous losing streak." And they ended up winning that game. Came back from down 5 runs in the last 3 or 4 innings of that game, and haven't lost since. They've just reeled off 6 in a row now. They could make it 7 in a row tonight. They are in pretty good position to do that early on in this game. But I do think that it's going to be 2
runs in Coors Field. Oof.
Hey,
I don't know about that, bro.
Being up 2-0 better than 0-0 or being down 2-0. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be comfortable if they were up 10-0. Is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
It's Coors
agree.
Field. It's
I
Coors
agree.
Field.
It is Coors Field. It is it's a
Yeah.
like you said, a house of horrors for the
Well,
Giants.
yeah.
Have either of you been to Coors Field, by the way?
I have not.
No.
I do want to go to Coors Field at one
I'd
point.
like to
What's
go
up, Danny?
too. I was just gonna say, quick update: 5 points for Halliburton. 6 points for
Yeah,
Shea.
dude. 6 for Shea. All right, I'm gonna leave that on a high note, guys. Appreciate both of you guys for stopping by. This was fun. To do it during a game too. I kind of like the atmosphere of us react. Obviously, when there's offense, reacting to a home run, right?
The one home run.
Yeah, the one home run. But no, we'll definitely do this again. We'll do. I liked it. I mean, 415 West. He said, oh shit, we're live during the game. Yeah, we are, but now we're gonna be signing off, West. So you were late to the party, but we'll do it again. We'll do it again. This is a lot of fun. Especially the three of us. The three of us with Danny Dunn, Eric Engel. It's always a fun time. It's always a fun time.
3-man weave.
Oh yeah, bro.
And it's just making me think. Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up?
Okay.
And I just want everybody to know, R.I.P. Brian Wilson, not the Giants Brian Wilson, which when I heard the news this morning, that was where my brain immediately went. But Beach Boys Brian Wilson. So everyone go throw on your favorite Beach Boys track and just vibe while you're watching this Rockies game.
Do you want to sing? Do you want to sing on the way out?
My singing voice isn't the best, Walt.
You need to warm up your vocals, Eric.
I haven't had time to warm up.
Everybody,
you can't hit a falsetto. You can't hit a falsetto. Come on, bro.
Eric, I
right,
like the
guys.
corner of your room.
So funny. All right, well, I appreciate you guys stopping by. It was definitely a fun time, and I appreciate everyone in the YouTube chat. Don Peralta, Pat H. Didn't see where Rockin' was. Rockin' didn't show up today. He must have been busy. 415 West coming in there for the final 30 seconds. Lori Galvin checking in. I think Lori is actually talking about Coors Field. They're in Colorado right now, so yeah, we'll have to definitely get a report from Coors Field next time we're back on the podcast, which will be letting everybody know it will be Friday. We will be on the podcast getting ready to beat LA. If either one of you wants to come on and talk about the Dodgers on Friday, feel free to let me know, and I'll keep a chair open for you. I'll keep the mic open for you.
I hate the Dodgers. F the Dodgers. You know what I mean? Blank them.
Yeah, dude, 100%. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. Danny, appreciate you. Eric, appreciate you. We'll have to do it again soon. And everyone else, Giants game's going on, but you guys already know they're up 2-0. As always, go Giants.